And we'll do the Pledge of Allegiance of the flag. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, scheduled business. Anybody want to make a motion to seal the non-public minutes?
Yeah, I would make a motion that the board just came out of a non-public session under RSA 91A32C reputation, and I would move to seal those minutes until such time that the majority of the board feels the circumstances no longer apply.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Katie?
Aye. Aye. Sorry, I was muted temporarily. Aye.
Okay, B is town clerk storage needed.
Hello. I don't know if you're aware of, we basically have to keep every piece of paper we touch in this building. We're running out of space. We ran out of space a long time ago. And we need space to store things. After looking around and seeing what we have, a suggestion was made to me that we could possibly take a bay or a part of a bay over at the Butler Building and have it kind of retrofitted to our needs. If this is acceptable, I'll start looking into it. If not, then I need the board to try to find us somewhere else to store things.
What kind of space do you need? I mean, does it have to be like built out as an office or?
It just needs to be a room that is, doesn't leak, that we can put shelves in and hold boxes that won't fall through the floor, like that thing out there is gonna do.
Yeah, yeah.
That storage area outside, yeah, that's gonna go poof, down into the pump house. So that's what we need. We need to start storing our boxes. We're way behind.
Have you thought about the second floor of the police station at all?
I have not, because that was not suggested. I'm just taking the one suggestion I was given. That's
Right.
why I'm kind of here to see
Right,
what
so
else we have.
so the deal with that area is, it used to be an apartment, right? But we're not grandfathered in, ADA, all that stuff. So we can't use it for anything, but probably cold storage. And my thing is, I don't have a problem with using the bays in the Butler Building, but it seems to be not what it was meant for, and I would think files would be safer in an environment like the
Agreed.
the building, yeah.
Agreed,
So.
yeah.
Are they gonna be sealed containers?
No, not really sealed. No, they're just boxes, your banker boxes.
No.
If you open that up and look, you can see what's,
Okay, they're the plastic ones, not
No.
the cardboard.
oh, yeah, yeah.
If you put cardboard in that building, the mice are gonna eat them to
Well,
death.
this is why I said it would need to be it would have to be drywalled, sealed, plastered, floor, ceiling, lights, fan. I mean, impenetrable. It would be made into a storage area.
Well, I think,
And that's fine with me. I'm just saying that that's the only thing that came across my desk.
Yeah.
If you guys have a better suggestion,
well, I
I'll
think
take
Matt
it,
came up
and
with a good
we have
one.
to run with it.
To be honest with you, Mary Jo, I think he came up with a good one.
Who owns that upstairs?
We do.
That is
We do,
ours.
yeah.
I mean, we have the key. What I'm trying to say is we have the physical key and.
Yeah,
Is it not being used for anything right now?
So last I heard, the PD had a few files up there, but I believe, don't quote me, it's not, they're not, there's a lot of space up there if
Lot of
anybody's
space.
been up there. And they're not really even touching that much, but Diane's waving, which always means I'm
I was gonna
wrong.
call her.
No, I was just thinking, there's no elevator there,
Right.
so you
can't hear her.
can't plug everything up and down, so just something to consider.
Now, there is a huge, So-
Big, strong men.
right, so there is a huge sliding window, which is one of the reasons why we can't do anything with it.
Right.
It's a slider, and you could basically fall out of there. So if you open the slider, I would think we could get boxes somehow up
That's
through the
not a
window.
bad
Yeah.
idea.
If there was a dumbwaiter there, it wouldn't take a file cabinet with boxes. I see.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah.
Interesting.
think that still works.
Now, just out of courtesy's sake, I mean, shouldn't one of us kind of run that by the chief?
You have to talk to the chief.
That would be my next stop, yeah.
Yeah.
Because he's kind of, I mean, we're the landlords technically, but he's like the resident advisor that you have, so he knows what's going on.
So that's actually a good second choice, and like I said, I want to have a couple of different options, because we really need space. We're dying
So, I
here.
mean, let me call him tomorrow, or do you want to call, I mean,
I'll talk to him.
yeah,
I'll
yeah.
talk to him.
And then whatever you decide is best, if you feel that might not work, I think we'll just let MJ, I mean,
I don't, it's just not my call. I'm just the
Yeah.
one saying that because, yeah, I'm kind of the record keeper. It's not just it's your
yeah.
stuff.
No, I just want to get it
Yeah.
done with before, God forbid,
Yeah.
and we don't meet for, I'd like to, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to
Okay.
word it right,
I
but I'd
can
like
do
to
that, yeah, okay, yeah.
get it done.
How can we facilitate it?
There are a couple of bedrooms up there, so it's possible that he could give us one of the bedrooms.
Oh, there's plenty of room up there,
All right.
plenty of room.
It is huge up there.
And believe me, it's the safest place.
Yeah.
I'll talk to the chief and see what I didn't even think of that, because I just figured stuff was being used up there that was already theirs.
I don't know if there
Yeah.
is, but it makes sense
Would we need
Okay.
to motion?
to have that one room.
We really don't.
Okay.
We don't need to do a motion
No,
on
no
that.
motion.
No,
Yeah,
I
MJ.
No,
think,
I'm just, yeah, that's okay, just to start looking around.
Perfect.
Yeah, okay.
Can I just suggest that those plastic tubs with the click things, until we know the mouse situation, would probably be worth the expense if we can get them, so they don't get chewed through?
I would defer to our 8 Merrimack Road mouse expert, Chief Jewett, because
Okay, good.
he's, whatever he's keeping the files in, I believe it's working.
Okay,
You know what I
good.
mean? And he's got, I know that Pest End comes in and, you know, so.
And there can be separate rooms if anybody's worried about anybody going into anybody else's files with separate locks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I would think file cabinets would be better, because if you've got boxes, now they're stacked on each other, and who's gonna lift them, you know? That's the main thing, we have to get somebody to help lift them every time you need something below. So, you know,
Yeah.
I'm sure we can get some used file cabinets or something.
Yeah, or even the metal shells or something, I mean,
Yeah.
something. Because I know I have a bunch out back where I am, that I don't use. Yeah, all right. Okay.
And it's really safe,
Really safe?
because it's a police station, so people typically don't break
Well, you
in.
know, honestly, I don't think there's anything we're storing that is
I'm
not
sure, yeah.
And it-
private information. It's all public record, that's why we have to keep it. You know, right to knows and all that.
And we wouldn't have to fumigate it every 2 months to keep the mice out.
Well, yeah, well, I
it's already
figure
done.
if Pest End comes here, I know he goes there, you know, we did just have to make sure they check that. Okay, I'll talk to Chief and see what he says.
Awesome.
If he says no, then we're back to the Butler building, okay? How about upstairs at the fire department? You got a room?
No,
I'm
we
only
can't,
kidding.
never mind. Not gonna speak on that.
And I think if it was the Butler building, I don't think we'd have an issue with that. It's just what we talked about, the
Yeah.
environment.
It would cost more to go to
Yeah,
Butler.
it's gonna cost money
Yeah,
if we do
yeah.
that.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
gonna cost a good chunk of money to do
Yeah.
that. No, Mike's nice enough to give up part of that bay. He's like, I'll give you part of my bay. Okay,
Thank you.
thanks. See you, bye.
Thanks.
Okay, next one is EOC update.
Okay. I have to do this so I can talk and breathe. All right, so I'm not going to give you the state numbers. Town numbers are, school, I should say. We have 32 people recovered. That's more than we had the last time I spoke with you. Memorial School, we have 8 recovered, which is the same as last time. Middle school, we have 7 recovered, which is more. We had 4 last time I spoke with you. And Bakey is 3 recovered. So as you know, you don't need me to tell you things are winding down. Excuse me, both at the state and the federal level. Locally, most towns have resumed operations, including parks and recreate, now see, I'm not sick, everybody. Most towns have resumed operations, including parks and recreation summer programs. Conservation trails are now being used by people, and they're looking forward to getting back to normal. As a reminder, all emergency orders have expired, and masks are no longer required. Many towns are leaving it up to staff in the individual towns if they want to wear a mask or not. It actually is not a HIPAA violation to ask somebody if they've been vaccinated, so I'm tossing that out there. And I didn't bring my report from last time, but I covered extensively what CDC was saying about, wearing, if you're vaccinated, you don't need to wear a mask. If you're indoors and you're with somebody that you don't know if they've been vaccinated, then you can wear a mask if you want to. If you're comfortable, you don't have to. They're saying outside, you don't need to wear masks. That was pretty extensive in last week, so I'm just kind of refreshing your memory. What also is talked about, sorry, my pages are out of order, is the right to know. And this is like an ever-changing thing. Just like COVID was, we used to say, hey, what we're doing today, we're gonna change tomorrow. Well, same thing with right to know in our meetings. So last time we spoke, we talked about meetings, in-person meetings, Zoom meetings. They are actually working on something they're gonna present to us. On one of the legal calls, I confronted the AG's office along with NHMA. So here's some notes from our most recent legal call about in-person meetings. If the selectmen decide to allow a public comment period, it should clearly inform the public if that format is going to be allowed and how they are going to participate. So when we post these meetings, if we are going to have a Zoom link, what they're saying is it should say, if you're going to attend via Zoom, first of all, we have to have a quorum of you guys, or whatever committee it is. Other people can participate from Zoom if we've got a physical quorum. If people want to comment, it's got to be noted in our agenda under the Zoom link, public comment will be allowed, or the AG's office said some towns are going to say, no, you want to come on with Zoom, that's fine, we'll put the Zoom link, but we're not going to accept public comment. What they reminded us, and I've kind of got this all written down, but I'm giving it to you just how we talked extensively about this. If you're going to have a physical presence, which now we have to, according to the Emergency Order 12, and you are going to allow Zoom, what they're saying is if we're going to allow the public to speak, we need to say it on the agenda if we're going to allow the Zoom people to speak, and they're supposed to have equal time. So, 3 minutes here, that's cute, yeah, right. And 3 minutes there. But they also said, and this is kind of new, in addition, many of our meetings, we have the chat thing, people can chat. We actually, you guys have to vote to read it. You can't ignore the chat, and it has to actually be read into the minutes. So that's something we didn't really do because it wasn't ever talked about before. That's coming up probably in the next Right to Know workshop, which might be tomorrow, and there's another one July 24th, I think. So keep that in mind.
Can you explain the chat? What does that mean?
So you know how Diane, you can raise your hand and Diane can see it? What they're saying is if that happens, and we have to put this on our agenda under the Zoom link, if we're going to allow you to participate via Zoom, when you want to chat, and the last sentence is they have to identify themselves, just like we do in a meeting here when we come to the podium. And then who's ever doing the chat, you guys can decide if it's Diane. Whatever the chat message is has to be read into the minutes of the meeting for discussion.
I have a question. Are we allowed to disable? Right now, chat has been disabled for the last meetings. Is that a decision the board can make to just?
Yes. So you guys get to do basically what you want. So if you don't want chat, we should, under that Zoom link, say, accepting participation via Zoom. Identify yourself before speaking. However, chat is disabled. We're not accepting that. They said as long as we post it, we can do it, whatever the selectmen vote on. They also said if we've got a physical quorum, unlike we were told before, we thought maybe people couldn't vote if they were on Zoom. Well, they can, if we've got a physical presence of a quorum. So, and this is, as of yesterday, who knows what's going to happen tomorrow with the legal call. But right now, that's where we stand.
Just 1 second.
Yeah,
They have to show themselves.
I'm sorry?
They have to show themselves when they vote.
They don't have to show themselves, but they have to identify themselves, name and address.
Because it's an extension of what we used to do with the phones.
Yes.
You know.
So
Yeah.
what about, like, for example, and I don't know who that person is, but Marcella's iPad?
Yep.
Do they have to, when they log in, write their name? Or if that person would like to make a comment, they have to say, hello, this is...
Yes,
Diane.
if they want to make a comment. Now, Charlie, the chairman brought up a good point. However you want to handle that, we actually can come up with the guidelines of how you want to do this and vote on it. So now you actually know what do you want that photo to be showing? Or are you okay with them just identifying themselves when they want to talk? So that's something that you can think about for our guidelines moving forward. I'm sure under the Right to Know workshop that's coming up, and I've got a conflict on the first one, so I'm not doing till July, but maybe somebody else here is available. They're going to cover a lot of this to try to help us. This has been the biggest topic on all our legal calls with the AG's office.
Just to let you know, in Concord, they have to show their face.
Okay, interesting. And on the State House, for me, what I do in Mass, same thing. So that's kind of what I wanted to share, but they specifically gave us examples at the AG's office, so I'll read this just so the people on television land know what I'm talking about. So it says, for example, the public may be able to view the meeting, but will not be able to participate in the public comment period via the following link. So that's the language they're saying that could go under the Zoom link. It should be noted on the meeting agenda that gets posted in advance, and this way everybody knows how they can participate. In addition, if the selectmen decide to allow a public comment period for both those who attend remotely and those who want to attend in person, both groups have to be treated equally. And they gave us another example. If the members of the public are allowed to speak for 3 minutes, don't we wish we only had 3-minute talkers? Then those attending remotely and those in person should be permitted to speak the same amount of time. So equal for everybody. It says, they also said, keep in mind that many online services, here's about the chat, have the chat and audio functions. If members of the public are allowed to participate in a public meeting remotely, the selectmen must decide in advance whether, I'll be a perfect wife if I lose my voice, that's what Billy said, must decide in advance.
Guarantee.
He'll pay for that too. Must decide in advance whether comments made in the chat function will be read by the presiding officer and or be included in the minutes. So again, this is something that you'll have to decide. And lastly, they reminded us, anyone who wants to speak at a public meeting, whether remotely or in person, must identify themselves by name and address. And such information must be recorded in the minutes. And that's according to our Right to Know RSA.
So I got a good one for you.
Okay.
Diane will remember this one. The previous RSA, pre-COVID, was if you joined by telephone, you had to, identify yourself. You also had to say if there was anybody else in the room with you.
Yes.
Did that come
We
up?
still have to do that. Do you still have to
Yes.
do that?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
So, interesting.
And then, just, I think, really one more thing, 2 more things. As a reminder, obviously, the Newton EOC, we're in really reduced operational hours. We're both available by cell phone or the office, the EOC number, which is 382-1610. If you need Larry, the EMD, it's 978-804-0529, or me, 978-360-4152. We're still responding to things even though we're not physically there a lot. We're there very little. And lastly, and some of you probably already know this, the NHMA, there's a webinar tomorrow. No, sorry, it's not an NHMA, it's Gopher, regarding a grant for the local fiscal recovery funds. I'm already registered for that. It's not till 3, but we're going to see if Newton can apply for some things on that particular fund. It is a wide variety of wiggle room that maybe we'll be able to come up with some funds, but I'm not sure yet. And I think that's it for the EOC.
So related to this, if you guys don't mind, I'd like to make a motion. And we'll give Kingston, New Hampshire some credit because I'm going to read right off their website. So I would move to order that face masks are no longer required to enter the town hall, but they are recommended. Please use your own discretion and be considerate of your fellow residents. End of motion.
I'll
Second.
second that.
Give it to him. Greedy. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Hey,
We knew that.
The first
no,
time
I
I've-
think there should be a
Got a
stipulation where
mask
if
off
you're
in a year.
feeling unwell, you should be wearing a mask. In the event, we ask you to put one on.
Yeah, I just think we're in a position globally where that is very difficult to do. I can tell you that I've been going into different, whether it's food or stores or something like that, and what Kingston here is, well, what now we have is what I've seen on a lot of doors going into
Everywhere.
businesses. Yeah,
Market basket.
yeah.
May I make one more comment, and that it's a good point. This was also discussed in our calls. They're still saying that, we don't know where this is going. Again, they're saying when the flu season hits in the fall, is there gonna be a resurge, is something else gonna happen? So they are saying that it still is recommended for 3 feet social distancing in our meetings. We don't have to do 6, but they are recommending that. And it might not be a bad idea, those signs that I had made up for the doors, maybe, like Kate said, we could do something where, masks optional, but recommended, or whatever you decide, but also social distancing. And if you're sick, please go home. We could do something that, just to put on the doors here in the library. So you can think about that, and I can do that up.
Hey, Trish, can I ask a quick question?
Yeah.
When you put your signage up for COVID,
Yep.
we had a sign on the wall that had all our hours. Did you remove that?
That, yeah, we took it, I thought I gave it to somebody here. He doesn't have it? I'll look and see if it's with, yeah, maybe it's at the fire station with the other signs. Okay.
All set? Conservation Commission, tree removal.
Now that you're
Like
comfortable.
Quaker.
Take the other hat off.
Yeah, okay. So if I could just make a correction, first of all, on the agenda for people in TV land so that they're not confused. The Conservation Commission is not paying for a tree removal on Quaker Street. We can't do that with our funds. It is actually behind the Quaker Grove Cemetery, but the invoice that KMA Tree sent said 10 Quaker because that's how he tried to get in there. We had some issues with getting them in. So this tree was a hazard. It was partially down, was a huge tree. The road agent contacted us. He said it was in such a position that even he couldn't do it. So we needed special equipment to get in there without damaging people's property as well as the cemetery. So KMA came in. We had an emergency Zoom meeting to approve KMA and his estimate. We asked for an estimate, it was $1,900, which is over our bid policy. But again, because it was an emergency, we really couldn't wait. It was dangerous. It was a life safety issue. So I'm looking to have you approve what we have already done. It's already been taken care of. And this comes out of our conservation fund. So it goes to the treasurer. And I think I included the invoice along with the minutes of our meeting so that, the treasurer will have everything they need so it can get paid. Any questions? Does that make sense?
So, motion to approve emergency spending for tree removal on Quaker Street funds to come from the Conservation Commission.
Could we just say on the conservation property behind the cemetery, because
yeah.
it's not Quaker Street?
All right, yeah.
Just so that, I don't want someone
Yeah, no,
10
I
years from
understand.
now to say, how come?
We can put that in.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that is-
believe they entered through, let me just tell you,
Diane, did that make
through
sense?
the old Rhines property, I think. So I think it was map 7, lot 6, block 6. Yeah,
So do we have a quote for this yet?
1,900.
19, okay.
it's
already been
done.
done.
It's done, okay.
That's why I said emergency funds in the,
Yep, that's why we had the emergency meeting, and it was in between meetings for you and for us, and by the time we got it, it was after all your May meetings, so. And I think he did it like June 5th or something.
Now, is this something that would have affected the cemetery or just people in general that,
It could have come, that's why they had trouble getting in there. It could have, depending on how it fell, it could have affected the cemetery, but it was really well into the conservation, the old Foy easement that we have, that conservation easement back there.
that's the road that go, not road, but that's the path that
Path.
goes behind all them houses?
Yes, behind all those houses,
I
yeah.
remember that, yeah.
Yes.
wait a second.
That's the way they had to go in?
I'm sorry?
That's the way they went in?
No, they actually
went in through Quaker.
They went in off Quaker, yeah.
Didn't get a second?
No, I did not.
I'll be the second. Yeah.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
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 And Mr. Chairman, if I could do one more thing?
Aye.
Oh, sorry, Kate.
Sure.
So it was supposed to somehow, it was supposed to be on the agenda, somehow it got missed about the... Yeah, you got the email, I sent you the email about the rain barrels, it's all in the same email, exactly the same. Doesn't matter. If you look at it, double check it. I sent it to Larry and he forwarded my email to you. He did, because he included me on it. Trust me, I looked at it again because I thought maybe I screwed this up. At any rate, it might be too late, but Conservation our chairperson, Alicia Gallen, is working really, she's doing a great job. She's our new chairperson, and she's working closely with the Kingston Conservation. We had the opportunity to get a rain barrel. Actually, we thought we were gonna get 2, but now we might not even get 1. I think they were getting tired of waiting for us. But it would have been a perfect opportunity, and Nancy will know about this, to put on our MS4. It's a great public awareness. It's how to let residents know how else you can use your water, how to preserve watering your garden with rainwater instead of using your wells or whatever. It had the spigot. It was all attached with the screening. It was really an awesome one. Typically, the last time I tried to buy one of these, I donated it to somebody down in Wakefield. It was like $119. So it was pretty good they were gonna give us one. What I'm looking for is approval, if we can still get it, for us to get it, and then Conservation will work on wherever you decide you want it. It needs to be off a roof, and hopefully near one of the gardens, which the front probably garden is the best. Although we did talk about the transfer station so they could wash their hands, but again, that's not a garden, so I don't know about that one. But if we can still get it, it would be great if you vote that we can take it. It's free, and Conservation will take care of, constructing the little stand that it has to sit on. It's got to be at a certain level at one of the corners of the building, and that would probably have to come from the building inspector or Mike to see where's the best place to put it, not only to get good water, but so we're not in the way of the plows.
Motion to allow the Conservation Commission to accept a rain
Barrel?
barrel.
Rain barrel, yep.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Well,
Well, then they can decide
let's
that.
get it, and then I can come to another meeting and
Yeah.
they can decide where they want it.
Something in there, what it is or what it's for.
The rain barrel, sure. I actually have a little blip.
Yeah, just
I
something
could-
that people read it, they know what.
Yep. And then we can actually put it on our website. We actually would get credit for this when we do our MS4. It's a great public awareness way to do something that other people are gonna think are really cool, and they might wanna do it too,
That's perfect, thank you.
okay? Thank
Is
you.
there an approximate dollar value?
Well, the one I bought, and again, this was about 5 years ago, I was doing a program helping Wakefield when my office was down there. And that one was $119. It's
Yeah, so-
green, it's like resin, you know, it's got screening, it's already got the spigot with the little thing for the hose. It's really, and it's cute. And they usually have some kind of conservation, green leaves or something. They're usually green in color too, like a forest green.
How many gallons is it, Trish?
It's probably the size of maybe a 55-gallon drum. Might be a little bit bigger, but it seems to me it was about a 55-gallon.
I may be alone in this, but if for some reason we can't get that one, I would like to purchase one because I think it's low dollars and it's a good,
I just looked,
Example.
anywhere from $75 to $170 for 50 to 55 gallons.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's a great idea, because conservation was thinking the same thing.
yeah.
So you guys would approve that, we don't have to approve you
Right,
guys
we can
purchasing
do
it,
that.
right?
Yeah, because we could get that in
Yeah,
our budget.
yeah,
We could
perfect.
do that.
Yeah.
You actually do use them for watering gardens, plants, that type of thing. And if we could get one and put it out here, and I was even thinking, like one of my little brochure box things with a little write-up on it so people could grab it. It's just great advertisement for you as a town.
Yeah, thank you,
Okay.
Trish.
Thank you.
Okay, next one is Town Beach Service.
You seconded, Charlie, but I don't think any.
Oh, yeah, there wasn't a
I
vote.
think we did, and I thought we did. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay,
Sorry, I was unmuted. Aye.
okay, next. Service dogs at the beach. Okay, this is from Scott Dole. It says, "Good afternoon. I am looking for a ruling on an issue at the town beach. In just the past week, we have had 2 people attempt to bring dogs onto the beach. They were service dogs. One had no documentation, one did. The dog that had the documentation scratched a child, minor scratch, and was barking consistently. The rules at the beach, state rules, no pets. How would the Board of Selectmen like to handle the service dog requests in the future? My suggestion would be to allow only service dogs that have paperwork and are visible ID service animals, not to disrupt to other beachgoers, and remain on a leash in full for the owner. Also, to have something in writing for people who would ideal. Thank you, Captain Scott Gore."
So if you read our policy, which I did last night, it's one bullet that says no pets, right? So we could add a extension to that bullet in the policy, and I would move to add service dogs that have paperwork and/or are visibly identified as a service animal and are not disruptive to other beachgoers and remain on a leash in full control of the owner may be allowed on the town beach.
And I'll second that
For discussion.
for discussion.
So according to, this is from the Disability Rights Center of New Hampshire. And again, I just would like to follow ADA, I'd like to follow New Hampshire RSA. So one of the frequently asked questions on their website says, can I be required to provide proof that my service animal is not a pet? And the answer to that is no. So I don't want to, I feel like we don't want to do that. We don't want to violate any kind of,
I don't know, may I speak, Mr.
Yes.
Chairman?
Yes.
So, I teach fair housing and ADA for Mass and New Hampshire, and one of the things that, this comes up a lot, it's very serious, it is a violation of fair housing to say, oh, sorry, your service, we want to see your documentation. It's also, the state tried to get it so that at least if they wore the vest on the dogs. It was easily identifiable, but you couldn't confront them and say, you know, why do you have this service animal? The most the state says is you can ask, what major life function does this animal do for you? If we had to ask that question. But we can't deny access to a service animal. So possibly if you tweaked your motion that they all get the jacket thing, that vest. So they should at least have that on. We shouldn't ask for identification because that does violate fair housing.
So, and just for the record, it is under New Hampshire RSA 167-D, the law, just so we have it on. And so again, from the, what did I say? Disability Rights Center of New Hampshire, in their FAQs, what if a service animal barks or growls at other people, which kind of falls into what possibly occurred. Any animal, including a service animal, can be excluded from a facility when the animal's behavior possesses a direct threat to the health and safety of others. So I think we kind of,
The motion.
So I'm going to scratch my motion.
I'll
And if
scratch
you-
my second.
If you bear with me here, Diane, so my motion is going to be added that service, and I guess I have to say animals, I shouldn't say dogs. Service animals that are visibly identified as a service animal and are not disruptive to other beachgoers and remain on a leash in full control of the owner may be allowed on.
can I amend
That would be-
just to add the, can be excluded from a facility when the animal's behavior possesses a direct threat to health and safety of others? Is that possible
Yes.
to
Please.
somehow amend?
Yeah, I don't,
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, here's what I'm gonna do. No motion, if you make the motion, because it's on your screen, I don't wanna,
I just don't know how to word it like you do. You word it very good.
yeah, I mean, what I would do, Edvin, is I'd start with service animals may be allowed on town beach if they are visibly identified as a service animal and,
Can be excluded from the facility, from the town beach when the animal's behavior possesses a direct threat to the health and safety of others.
Second.
Excellent.
So what is a service animal other than the dog?
well,
It could be a horse.
Anything.
That's what I'm wondering.
Yeah.
We don't allow horses on the beach.
yeah, hopefully nobody's got a service
And if they
horse.
do, it's okay, as long as it's not disruptive. I mean,
Yeah, but then they're messing on the sand.
So, I don't wanna, I don't think we need to spend a lot of time talking about what ifs, could, should
Yeah.
have. But here's the thing, disruption is a broad terminology. And I think if the lifeguards have a concern, and we'll let them know this, that they pick up the phone and call the police and the police will,
yeah.
make a decision. Because, again, let's not litigate it, but a service horse on the town beach would be disruptive if, they're they do drop things and so disruptive is, but it's the service hamster on the beach that would not be disruptive, right? That'd be a hard case to make, so.
I'll pick it up off the recording.
Please.
Thank you.
Is service animal be allowed in the water?
I think,
We can.
I don't think we do anything with the water there because we don't control the water.
It's under Fish and Game. Okay, we didn't vote, right?
Yeah.
So, who wants credit for that?
Give it to Edvin.
Okay.
He had the RSA, so.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay. Now, B, under the beach, is pest control service agreement.
So basically, there are mice down there in the shed. So there's an agreement before you to take care of that.
And they are not service animal mice.
So does my
So they should, they are disruptive.
Would this be coming from, which fund would this be coming from? Concert,
It would end up coming from general government.
general government, okay.
Yeah, we have, I'm not sure if it's in general federal government, but we do have pest end for all the other buildings.
Yep,
They
yep.
come from that. And the price isn't that much more, but at least it gets us
Yeah.
started and try and keep them out.
So I would move to sign the agreement with Pest End,
The chairman needs to sign.
or have the chairman sign the agreement with Pest End to continue service at the town beach for $200.
Second.
So it's 250.
Right.
So that way we can get, they're gonna bait it for this month, July, August, and then next year it goes down to.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So scratch my 200, put 250?
Yeah, 250.
I automatically go to the lower number when I see that.
Now, Diane, it's 4 times a year at 100 a time? Because this is what I'm looking at. I'm not sure. It says 4 quarterly, initial 100, and reoccurring 50.
Yep.
So that's 4 times a year.
This year it's gonna be June, July, August, and then two more times, and then next year we'll start 4 times.
And they won't put pipes in the snow, so in winter.
Yeah, it's not gonna matter.
It is,
Yep.
secure and containers or something.
Okay. We have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Do you want me to sign this as the chairman tonight?
Yeah, we'll just cross off you and Larry's name and just put yours down there at the bottom.
Next is the lease agreement for 8 Merrimack Road.
So I would, I would like to move to sign a new 1-year lease with our tenant at 8 Merrimack Road, effective June 1st, 2021 to May 31st, 2022, with a, for the amount of $10,200 payable in monthly installments of $850 per month.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, now G, MS 535, report to the DRA.
This is the auditor's report from the town meeting that we had in March, so it showed everything that was actually raised and appropriated and expenditures from last year for revenue.
So this is pretty much standard procedure.
Oh, absolutely,
Yeah.
everything in here, so I'll upload it to the portal and they'll use this to help set the tax rate.
So do they need a motion to sign?
You probably should, since you're signing the same document, I would prefer it, I think we normally do.
Motion to sign MS 535 for the year 2021.
Second?
Actually, it's for the year ending 2020.
Okay, year ending 2020.
Yeah, I believe that's,
Period ending December 31st, 2020. Yes, ma'am.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Next is employees evaluation.
it's just an update to let the board know, we're getting fast on to do 24. There's a spreadsheet in the shared folder that shows how many we've received. Not many. I'm concerned because I'd like to schedule, and I'd like to schedule for July if the board's around to be able to start reviewing these and see what we need to do from there and move on to other stuff. But, there's a lot out there still.
So, a couple of thoughts here. One is the fire department and the police department have a lot of work to do before June 24th. And I think we should schedule these to not hold up the process. And I would be disappointed if we didn't have anything to look at on the nights we're scheduled, so.
So I've sent out 2 emails so far, and sent out another, can't guarantee anything. So I don't know how to, I think some of them are probably in the works, I just haven't presented them.
Yeah, one would hope, yeah.
I know there's a couple, like the building department, I think because it says June 24th, they're waiting for June 24th. Which is okay, I don't have a problem with that. The ones that have 18 or 25 people, that's a lot to try and work through.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping, is that it's gonna be kind of a batch delivery, so, yeah.
And you'll be meeting with the department head when it comes their department, correct?
Oh, yeah.
So I will set up the HR folder to include all of the emails that have to that way we'll can start reviewing them ahead of time.
Yeah, and like I said, I would docket all of these as if you're gonna have them all
Yep.
in your possession on the date they're due, and just docket it, because that's our biggest holdup in the past has been, we schedule for whatever night to look at whatever department, and then we come in that night and that department hasn't turned theirs in, so we lose that night, and now we're bouncing the schedule around, and all of a sudden we lose weeks, so hopefully that won't happen.
So I know we're not meeting until July 20th after tonight. So do you have a preference as to which meetings you'd like to have to start reviewing these? Or start, approving or whatever?
Not really, not me.
Because that's the thing, we need to schedule not only get them in from the department, but we need to schedule them and say you're on this date, and you better have them in by that date. Because sometimes, limited too. And we need to keep moving, there's a lot of details to go through.
Well, I'll be speaking with the transfer station, and I will be speaking with the fire chief to get them done.
I'll speak to the police chief as well. If there are ones that are outstanding on the 24th, could you let us know? And I know you probably would have anyways, just,
Doing the list, so you'll.
yeah, no, yeah.
At the bottom of my list, I also put the ones that already were done in December, and the agreement was that you don't do one for this year, because they raised the funding this year.
Perfect, yep.
Or whatever, and then we'll just hit them again next year, probably around June.
Awesome, thank you.
Just a sidebar here, like the smaller ones, conservation, I've talked to the department head, chairman, recreation, it's just a tickler. I don't know if anybody's reading their emails, because I haven't had any responses, so.
Should I comment on that one? So the conservation, they excluded me from the meeting so they could do my review. And so Alicia is gonna meet with me this coming week.
She doesn't meet with you till the board sees it.
Oh, okay, I'll tell her that. She thinks she's gotta go over it with me. Okay, so they did me and, what's the other one that we were just talking about? Oh, and Larry was doing mine already. Yes.
And kind of, if you think about it scheduling wise, the way you do budgets, right? You can do a lot of the small ones, like Trish was just talking about, in the same night.
Right.
Fire almost needs their own night. Police needs one night, yeah.
Okay, per RSA 3195:B, to accept and expend unanticipated funds for the food pantry, Memorial School community in the amount of $355.40.
Is that a motion, Charlie?
That is a motion.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 And we'd like to thank the Memorial School for
Yes.
that. Okay, now we've got other business, and you have something for other business, my
Kate,
friend?
did you want to discuss the policy meeting we had?
Sure, if it's at the mercy of the chair.
Yeah, no, we're gonna do it in other business.
It's up to you, Charlie. Since we're not meeting again, we were asked to get the policy, an interim policy in on public participation. And we have written something up, which I was emailed to everyone, which I could read, or what does everyone think?
I mean, it's 2 pages long. We could read the whole thing.
It's, actually it's 1 page. The one I've got is 1.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, it's 1. Okay.
I've read it. I think it looks pretty good.
Yeah, I've only updated after Trish. This is the only issue to potentially update was the Zoom.
Well, yeah, I
which
was thinking the
just- I'm
same
gonna-
thing.
I could read aloud, which was, as we can say no. The maximum participation, Zoom participants will participate equally to those in town hall meetings and be subject to the same rules below. During allowed times of comment or questions, they will use the raise hands feature in order to be called on. The chat feature will be disabled during the meeting. I just threw that in to be, I
Yeah.
think that covered everything she said.
So,
When you said that, I was thinking, the timing's good.
And again, this could be amended at any time.
and just so the public knows, this is gonna be the Newton policy on public participation during regularly scheduled Board of Selectmen meetings. Kate and I are on the policy committee, so we discussed this, and it follows mostly what the New Hampshire Municipal Association and Primex as well put out. So it's fairly basic on the state level that a lot of jurisdictions do.
And it's legal. We went
Yeah.
through it pretty carefully. We looked at what held up, what didn't, and
Yes.
what allowed for a very, you're juggling making a maximum participation, but you also just stay within the agenda of the meeting. And it's a sort of an act, and it's pretty good, we think, for now. So we're happy to read it, or it's up to you.
If we're doing it in.
Trish is raising her hand, but reading it, I don't need it read, but maybe everybody else does.
If it's in public, don't we?
Yeah,
No, so that's the
probably
thing.
fair to do.
Trish, what do you have?
I just have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
So you said for the Board of Selectmen, but this should be for all the committees, right? Is it for all committee meetings?
It is.
This is just for the BOS meetings right now.
Would it be confusing if we have different things for?
It
I
would
mean,
be.
just think about it. You might want to be uniform across the board so everybody knows what we're doing.
Yeah, it would
Just
be
a thought.
confusing.
Well, planning board has its own jurisdiction. They're not under us. So who does that leave?
So it would just be the commissions in that case. So I personally think we should stay with just the selectmen's policy and make sure something goes out to planning board, to whomever, to say, hey, we just adopted this, you might want to think about a similar.
Do you want me to read the whole thing, Charlie? I can if you'd like.
Nope, all I want you to do is make your motion.
I can read it too.
Yeah, I think Kate, did you send it to Nancy and Diane?
It's in your,
Yeah, wait, I'll start again. I may have sent it to Diane, but not Nancy. So here,
she
look at
put
Nancy.
it in an email message as a shared link.
Yeah, that's
Did you
it.
put it out on SharePoint?
I
Just came before the meeting, just came.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Did you
Yeah.
put it out
we
on the
We had
SharePoint?
a meeting right beforehand to get it. Okay, I just sent you one, Nancy, too. It's a shared link.
So where is this? So is this on your computer?
No, it's now on our public thing. If you push the link, it should come up on the Microsoft
On
365
Yeah.
SharePoint.
Okay,
I don't know the lingo, but if you open it, you'll know.
I was trying to
I
figure out.
just
Okay.
added the Zoom thing in. I put it in there.
She got really fancy, but if you click on it, it'll
Yeah, it
come
opens up, but I don't know where she
So,
physically put it.
I don't know.
right,
either.
I would resave it because you've
We'll
got
have
to,
to just do that.
The
you've
right
got to
spot.
add a recent update anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one has, the one that I just sent you has the update with the Zoom, as per Tricia.
So, do we want to make this a temporary policy until we further review, or do we?
I haven't read it, so I would say yes. I mean, Matt, you and her have already.
And then Larry has it.
Larry hasn't, I don't imagine so.
So this was sent out, right?
Yes.
10 days ago, so Other than the small changes we just talked about, we have had it as a board for 10 days.
'Cause it does follow the Primex.
Right.
Yeah.
So the one thing I will say is policies are as temporary as we choose to
Yeah.
be. So I don't think we need to specify that.
Okay, we can amend it anytime we need to.
Yeah.
Make the motion, my friend.
Motion to adopt the Newton policy on public participation during regularly scheduled Board of Selectmen meetings,
Second?
effective today, June 15th, 2021.
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I got it now.
Charlie said no?
No,
No,
it's
I
all
said
aye.
aye.
Okay.
I
all
said
right,
no,
sorry.
I got it right now on my phone.
Oh, you got it, okay,
Yeah.
sorry.
But like I said, if we could now email a copy of that to all the boards and committees, just so they might want to think about doing the same thing, especially given the Zoom, clause or whatever you want to call it. Yep.
Diane, do you mind emailing that? Or how does it work? I don't know how it works. I don't want to.
I didn't even just, I'm sorry, what?
Do you mind emailing it to all the or the boards?
You want me to email what you just sent? Yeah.
Yeah.
I just downloaded a copy.
Awesome, thank you.
We've never asked Diane if she minds emailing.
I hate, I don't know.
We probably should have.
I always ask her if she minds just in case.
I know,
No, I
exactly.
don't.
It's time for them to find a new place, a new person to replace me if I say no like that, right? Right? Okay.
I have one quick thing for other business. So we're going to take steps to put the raft out at the town beach. And, typically one would say, well, let's get some volunteers. We cannot get volunteers to do the raft because of, liability. So if the board's okay with it, I wanted to, and I'll do this, I'll put out the word to town departments, so people who are already on the payroll, if they want to pick up a couple hours pay, could help put it out there. I think we only need 1 or 2 people, and it would come out of the rec budget. Does anybody have an issue with that?
No issue.
Would it be the hourly rate that they get normally paid, or?
I think it's one of those things, as we said this before with the snow, need to cross that bridge when we come to it. Yeah.
So that email will go out to the department heads?
Yeah, I'll take care of that. Thanks.
No other business? Not. Manifest.
Let's start them. Signed vendor manifest dated June 15th, 2021, in the amount of $124,396.79, of which $69,467.50 goes towards the fire rescue station bond payment.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion to sign cable vendor manifest dated June 15th, 2021, in the amount of $5,793.14.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion to sign new fire rescue station vendor manifest dated June 15th, 2021, in the amount of $1,818.08.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion to sign police special details vendor manifest dated June 15th, 2021, in the amount of $1,846.04.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion to sign payroll manifest for pay period May 23rd to June 5th, 2021, with a pay date of June 10th, 2021.
Second.
Aye.
All those in favor?
Aye.
She's quick.
Anybody want to read the?
I'll do the abatements.
All right.
Signed tax abatement for tax map 2326 in the amount of $992.44.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
sign a denial for tax abatement for tax map 2323 and 2417.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 That's the manifest. And the tax abatement. Okay. Approval of minutes, Selectmen's non-public and public meeting minutes dated June 1, 2021.
I would move to approve the public and non-public meeting minutes dated June 1st, 2021.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I would next move to approve Selectmen's public hearing impact fees minutes dated June 1st, 2021.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 I would move to approve the Selectmen's public hearing minutes for the FEMA grant on June 1st, 2021.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I would move to approve the Selectmen's non-public and public meeting minutes dated June 9th, 2021.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Review the non-public session minutes for unsealing.
I don't have any.
I don't have any.
I don't have any.
Okay. Announcements. Does anybody have any announcements?
I'd like to make one quick one. I want to congratulate Kevin Brown and Brian Kane for passing and completing their firefighter 1 and 2 academy up in Maine. They worked really hard, both working other jobs and working for the town, and still going to the fire academy. So just wanted to congratulate them, and I wanted to congratulate Peter Janalunas for completing his firefighter 2 academy at the New Hampshire Fire Academy.
Congratulations.
DRA set ratio for tax year 2020 at 97.7%. Nancy, what was it before?
That was right after the reval, I want to say it was close to 100. Actually, no, this one's for the reval that was done. So this is 2020, she did the reval, was it 19? I'm losing track. I don't know, I've got the list downstairs. It's better than it was. I think it might have been 87 or something. Actually, I can tell you if you really want to know, I can look it up.
No, you don't have to know. I was just curious what it was before, that's all.
I didn't expect that question.
Okay. Motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn meeting?
Nay. Just kidding.
Nay.
Joke.
We'll leave you right here, Katie.
No, stay there as long as you want.
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.
Meeting adjourned.
There we go.